Welcome, friends. Today we are doing a final impressions and unboxing video. Marvelous. So, as you can tell by the title, I hope, this is my Dusita final impressions video, and there is a surprise, well, not a surprise unboxing, there is an unboxing though from Dusita, because I have bought one of their fragrances. So that kind of indicates, gives an early indication as to what I think of the brand. But I'm going to be more, excuse me whilst I hydrate, I'm going to be more nuanced. It's not my usual sort of way, as the old nuance, but we will see how we go. So here is the sample set that I was sampling, and here is the signature collection. So you get three of them in, you get three of the samples in that form, and you get the rest of them in the box, which was nice. Very good presentation. I was a big fan. Look, here's this box. This goes over here like this, and then it goes inside another box. I think this cost about 80 quid. It's about 80 quid for what, 12 samples? It's not bad, but it's not great, you know? It's about par for the course, we'll say. And this is a niche brand. And my overall impressions of the house were that they are all very well made. They are all pretty decent ingredients in the main, you know? Like, very, like, definitely not of a designer standard like some other niche brands I've tried, you know, designer fragrances with niche prices. That's not what this is. I think this house is actually, in context of the rest of perfume, this is a pretty decently marketed, decently priced brand to go for. The first four that I tried were these four at the top here, and these were Melody de l'Amour, Isara, which was the Fougère, La Douceur de Siam, and Fleur de la Lite. Now, there was only one of them that I was even remotely interested in, if I'm being perfectly honest. And that was Isara, because it was the Fougère. And that is my fragrance of... That's my fragrance of choice. That's my taste, is probably the best way of putting it. I've got a bit of that on my fingers. Sticky. Oh no. I like that one, but considering the amount of other fougères I've got, and I tried it on skin, and it is a little different. It's got this big hay note about it, you know, which gives it this kind of dryness. And if you are looking for a modern fougère, it's very good. It's got this kind of... traditional vintage feel with a slight twist, you know. I think it's got pine in it as well, you know, so it's got this dryness, and I really liked it. But for €220 or £220 for a bottle, when I already own some of the best fougères that are available, whether first or second hand, excuse me, I didn't feel like it was worth it, and I didn't think the performance was great on it. I didn't feel like I could smell it all day, although it did get on my bed sheets, which was strange, because there was a few times when I sprayed it and had it on in bed, on my arms. And this happened with a couple of the other ones as well, and I did get wafts of those until I changed my sheets. It was like a few days later. I quite enjoyed it, but I wasn't moved to buy it. I wasn't so taken with it. You know, I wasn't willing to part with the money to add a scent to basically something I've already got. You know, that was the issue I was having. I've got plenty of other things that personally I feel do it better, but again, it fits in with this. It fits in with this kind of narrative I've built up in my head about the brand, that they're all very good quality. The blending's fantastic. The ingredients are really good. But I just wasn't willing to part with the money for it. The next couple I tried on skin were from the bottom row. And they were Erewhon, La Pavillon d'Or, Splendoris, and Anam Cara. Erewhon. We will start at the beginning. This is the one that had hay in it. This is dry. It's kind of soft and vanillic. It's got this familiarity to it. Like, again, I feel like I've smelled this before, you know? It's, again, very well made. It's dry. It feels like this is, to me, this feels like it's got tobacco in it. You know, I know the hay note can add to like the dry tobacco sort of thing, but it's got dry cigarette smoke kind of thing going on for me. Again, it's more my style than say something like Melody de l'Amour. Sorry, I can't see the names. I recognise them by smell, not the name. I had this on skin, and again, this to me went very smoky. It went very dark. It went very dry, tobacco-y. Reminded me not necessarily of stale smoke, but like, do you know when smoke gets into the wallpaper, you know? It's got that kind of dry, old, aged, vintage kind of thing going on. Again, I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't pay for it. Well made, good ingredients. Splendoris was a massive letdown for me. A massive letdown for me. To me, this is more violet than it is iris. Very powdery, very purple. It smells like the colour it is. I know there's been a lot of people who really rate this fragrance. and it just wasn't for me. Violet, Parma violets, watery, mouth-watering kind of thing, you know? It's got the iris in it, but it's like a chalky, I get like this chalky kind of Parma violet thing from it that I do not enjoy whatsoever. It's fresh. I didn't find the lasting power to be anything special whatsoever. I didn't think this lived up to the hype that there was. I allowed myself to get my expectations up a bit for that, and to me it let us down for an iris fragrance. It's much more of a violet fragrance, a purple flower kind of smell. It's filling the room at the minute. It's quite dry. Again, it's quite dry. Very light touch. Very delicate. Sorry. To me, this has got a touch of Haris about it. Except I think Haris is a much better fragrance, personally. I do. I think that Haris is... it's much more focused. I think that with Iris in the name, Iris should be more... This fragrance kind of feels a bit like catfish, you know? Like it pulls you in with the name, with the colour of the juice, the hype, and then you get it, and it was... And I mean, I've got a full disclosure, I am not a floral fan. I don't like floral fragrances. This is a much more floral fragrance than something that I am used to. And it's violet as well, which I am... I don't want to say very much against, but I don't like it. I don't like iris, to be honest. It's not my thing at all. When I say iris, I mean violet. I don't like violets. Just bad association with Parma violets. I never used to like Parma violets when I was a kid either, you know. Parma violets are a bit bleh for me. So we'll move on. The next one I tried was Le Pavillon d'Or. Pavilion d'Or. I actually quite liked this. I thought this was quite nice. I'll spray this just to remind myself. I haven't got any test strips. I felt that this one was like clean. I felt it was more irisy than Splendorous. This was one that I wanted to spend more time with. That I felt was like a quality. I want to spray some on skin. I felt like this was like actually really pleasant. It got a little bit. How can I put it? Like tea. Not like tea. It gives like the vibe of tea, you know, like a little bit dark. It's got a little bit of darkness to it, but it's also fresh, you know? Like, so it doesn't actually have a tea smell. It just sort of... It's got that vibe. And I was actually quite enamored with that. I enjoyed wearing it. I enjoyed trying it and testing it, and I wanted to smell more, and I did smell more. It was probably the one that I wore the most, apart from the one that I bought, which I will reveal soon. But at the end of the day, I thought, with all the fragrances that I have, is this going to get enough wear to justify the expense? Is this going to be adding to the collection? Is this, am I loving this so much that wearing it would make me happier? Do you know what I mean? Would it improve the collection? In the end, I decided against it. Time gone by, I probably would have bought Le Pavillon d'Or. I thought it was invigorating. I thought it was refreshing. I thought it was new. It was a little bit different. I would recommend people to try that one. I find it infinitely more enjoyable than something like Splendoris, which is the one that gets all the hype. So, yes, I wasn't against Le Pavillon d'Or. I wasn't against it. High praise indeed. Oud Infini. Not Oud Infini. Oud Infini. Anamkara. We'll come on to Oud Infini in a minute. Anamkara, I enjoyed the fact that it was out of my comfort zone, that it had enough about it to make me want to try it, that it had enough about it to make me want to enjoy it. And I tried it a couple of times, and it's not the kind of fragrance I would wear. You know, it was the kind of fragrance that I enjoyed the smell of. And I thought was interesting, and I wouldn't mind smelling it on someone else, but it's not the kind of fragrance that I would buy. It's not the kind of fragrance I would wear. Sorry, I'm just messing with my bottles. Please, again, excuse me whilst I hydrate. So that was the actual sample set there. Tried and tested all of them. Quite enjoyed them. There was a few I wasn't going to try on skin because there were two florals. Sorry. Fleur de Lolita. No, it's not for me. And so that leaves us with three left. Oud Infini, Montri, and Cavatina. Oud Infini, I'm not going to spray it. Oud Infini is just too much for me. I just don't like that kind of... I don't like that kind of fragrance, that shitty, musky, rank, evocative, dark grimness. Some people love that, and fair play to them. And on some people, it smells really good. To me, it smelled bad. Not badly made at all. It's not what I'm saying. But it just smelled bad. It smelled foul. You know, not something I want to smell of is like some dirty, like unwashed arse. You know what I mean? Unwiped, unwashed, unpalatable for me. And fair play to people who enjoy it, people who love it. You are, I don't know what you are. Fair play to you. It was a bit much for me. I can't deal with that. Cavatina, famously named after the piece of music. Just like floral, you know, just against what I'm into. Very green, you know, but not for me. Not my type of fragrance at all. You could probably see that coming a mile away. Well made again. All of these are well made. Even Oud Infini, which I really do not like. But it ain't for me. And last but not least, we have Montri. Now, I really enjoyed Montri. I really enjoyed Montri. This is my sample. I found that this, to me, was... This, to me, was what something I've been looking for a while. There's Montri. I'll put it back up here. Oud, rose, well made, great ingredients. It smells like oud pilau, but more real. Oud pilau by Diptyque. I know it's got oud pilau in it, but this smells like oud pilau by Diptyque, but more real. You know, oud pilau smells like Oud Ispahan, and I think that Montri is Oud Ispahan done right. Oud Ispahan has not been a good fragrance for 10 years now. The first year or two of that fragrance's release were really good. 2011, 12, 13, very decent. After that, bad. Oud was just an amber wood. It wasn't made well. It was overpriced. The rose wasn't as good. This, to me, smells like Oud Ispahan done right. I only have 2 ouds in my collection. One of them is the Night, and one of them is Oud Pilau itself, which I'm considering selling now, because the fragrance I bought was Montri, of course. Of course it was. Fantastic. This is the one that impressed me most. I felt like there was a hole in my collection for this. I always wanted Oud Ispahan, and I wanted it. I wanted the right bottle. I wanted the ones that were when it was first released, and there's absolutely no chance of finding them now. None. They're gone. This is Oud Ispahan done right. The oud is fantastic. The rose is fantastic. The blending is awesome. The ingredients are awesome. I found this bottle on Parfumo from a lady from France. And 50 mils of Dusita retail for €150. 100 mils retails for €220. I paid €145 for this 100 ml bottle of Montri, and I am over the moon with it. Absolutely delighted with it. This is fantastic. Oh, this is like my favourite oud rose, possibly more than the Night. Saffron, spices, rose, oud, beautiful. And so we will unbox this now to show you the full presentation. On the back it says the pen is me and I am the pen in writing. The pen gets lost to become part of a thing I cannot recall. And that was apparently the owner's father, who was a poet. She released this fragrance in ode to him. I must say, I've got to be honest, I do not think that the owner of this brand is the perfumer. I think she commissions the perfumes to be made. It's her vision. She works with perfumers, but I do not think that Prosara is the perfumer, if you want the truth. Apparently there's been rumours of this around for a while. I don't have any inside information. I just think from the information that I have and the experience that I have, that it is extremely unlikely that she is the perfumer, and that she commissions them in a very similar way to Roger Dove. Okay, and that he gets other people to make his perfumes as well. So, alright, here we go. There we are. I'll take that off. Well, that's not very good, is it? Oops. Here is the bottle of Dusita Montri. There is the little stick. There's the bottle. Montri eau de parfum. It has the thingy on the back. Not on the back, on the bottom. Snake bottle there, fits in its little thing. Shall I spray it? I will spray it just to make sure that it's real. Whoops. Certainly smells real. I hope it's real. It feels like it's real. So, there we are. This has been a successful first impression series, as I have bought a bottle from a brand. Well, not from the brand, but from someone on Parfumo. But I have bought a bottle of the brand's perfume. This does not happen very often in modern niche perfumery, the type of places where I sample from and then decide whether I want to buy or not. You know? So, Dusita has done well. All things considered, I have bought a bottle and I am pleased to have done so. This will be a fantastic addition to my collection. I hope you have enjoyed these videos. There's the little card. I hope you've enjoyed this series. I've enjoyed it. Very good quality niche brand at very decent prices as well. Not cheap, but not rip-off. If you are looking to get into the niche side of things, this would be a good brand to try. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I will see you soon with another first impression series.